Thanks for joining us for the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Coming up, $1.6 million project, first steps to Portsmouth city development, a new sitting of Parliament to commence on Tuesday, July 26, and Cochrane prepares for Rabbit Festival 2016. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this.
Think water, think life. Water refreshes, restores, cleans, and enhances growth. Potable water is a benchmark for development. DOWASCO is serious about its mandate to ensure easy access to potable water island-wide and provide sewage services for a cleaner environment. DOWASCO is your water and sewage company.
Thanks for staying with us. A road project costing over $1 million has already aesthetically improved Portsmouth, bringing the constituency closer to the vision. GIS News visited the Portsmouth constituency to highlight the developments so far.
Plans to have the town of Portsmouth as a well-established second city of Dominica is well on its way as a $1.6 million road project on Harbour Lane and Broadney Street is shaping up nicely. Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Portsmouth constituency, Ian Douglas, described the plans for the completion of the project.
We had done the drainage and the sidewalk about 6 to 9 months ago. And so now that this half of the road has been surfaced, the guys are now completing the northern half of the road. That is to say, from the middle section of this road on northwards towards the Catholic Church. We're very happy for the completion of that project because it lifts up the aesthetics of the town. The rehabilitation of those streets really is part of a general vision to continue developing the infrastructure of the town. Dominica, because of our topography and our geography, we have communities scattered throughout the length and breadth of Dominica. And so Portsmouth really becomes the commercial hub of the north and the northwest, and to a certain extent the northeast come down to Portsmouth on a daily basis to access services, from medical services to schools to commercial services, meaning shopping, to access hardware from the hardware suppliers down here. For a range of various services, they come down to Portsmouth, the police station, the magistrate's court. So you really need Portsmouth to be upgraded to the level of a city. There's a vision to continue this road, this Rodney Street, onto Indian River by extending the road southwards, and probably when you get to the Indian River, going west along the Indian River banks back onto the Indian River Bridge, so that persons who want to access, say, Bourne, Dodan, Wesley, up east, do not necessarily have to come into the heart of the town to go up to those places. They can use that almost like a sort of a bypass, and persons exiting the town don't have to go back onto Bay Street, but can go straight through, almost like you go into Glanville and then get onto Indian River and go onto Glanville and Picard.
The Portsmouth MP explained the benefits of the project to his constituents.
Another noteworthy aspect of the project is the fact that it's a local contractor doing it, a young guy by the name of Julian Hamilton. His company is named, is known as Double O Construction, and a lot of the young persons have been employed here, the young men. Not only finding employment, but actually learning a skill. Learning the skill of carpentry, masonry, how to do drains, how to do sidewalks on the road at the same time, and we're very pleased. Throughout the life of the project, we have had on average 30 to 35 guys employed here. We're talking about, I would say, about a year and a half of employment, and the project is ongoing. So you could well understand the project has provided considerable employment. And for every one guy you have employed on the project, you have a family of maybe 3 or 4 that they support and they maintain, who depend on them. When you're spending $1.6 million on a project, you could understand the impact, the socio-economic impact on the entire locality or location of the project to the persons who benefit directly and even indirectly, because we have a lot of shops, restaurants, bars, barber shops, along the Rodney Street, western end of the street. And when there are activities at the Benjamin's Park, you have a lot of persons who come in from other communities like Jubla and Biosh and Colliho to look at games here, cricket and football. Even now, we have a place on the Benjamin's Park where you can have a crusade, which is actually going on now, and nightly you have 200-300 persons who come down to participate in the crusades from other communities.
Lighting at the Benjamin's Park is also a vision of the Honorable Parliamentary Representative. Honorable Douglas revealed that the first phase of the Benjamin's Park Improvement Project is the lighting at the football field.
Thanks to the government, assisted by the Dominica National Petroleum Corporation, who provided the funding for us to be able to implement the lighting of the football field in the first phase. And so the guys, when they leave work at 4 o'clock, they do not now have to rush to get to the park by 5 to practice or to warm up. They can now warm up well beyond sunset, and it really enhances the quality of football. What I was saying is the lighting of the football field is the first phase in the ultimate lighting of the Benjamin's Park. We want to now expand that lighting onto the cricket playing area. There's also plan in the works, in the vision for the development of the park, to expand the basketball court northwards, to create 2 more courts for netball and for volleyball, and maybe on the volleyball court try to introduce lawn tennis to some of our youngsters. We've been building some football stands, and we built the first one, we've covered it. We've been able to do a second one. It's uncovered right now, almost like a bleacher, but it is our ultimate goal to be able to cover that second stand and to continue to build football stands. And also the cricketers under Mr. Nantan, Ambassador Emmanuel Nantan, have also been doing some cricket stands. And so eventually and ultimately we want to go around the park with those types of stands and bleachers.
The road project in this area of Portsmouth will be completed in 6 months. I am Lurian Graham Carter reporting for GIS News.
In more news, a new sitting of Parliament, the first of the second session of the 9th Parliament, will commence next Tuesday, July 26. His Excellency the President of Dominica, Charles Savre, will present his address following the suspension of the previous parliamentary sitting. At that meeting, the Honorable Finance Minister, Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, will present to the House estimates of revenue and expenditure for the new fiscal year 2016-2017. Those estimates total almost $700 million. Further, the Public Accounts, Privileges and Standing Orders Committees will be formally appointed at this meeting of Parliament. GIS News will bring you live television coverage from that event next Tuesday from 10 a.m. You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
Introducing the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app, available for download from the Google Play Store, One Mobile Market, and the Government of Dominica's website. Access to all ministries and sub-departments' phone, email and office addresses and websites. Simply select a ministry and the sub-department. You can dial directly from the app or save the numbers to your phone contacts. It's convenience at your fingertips.
Is my passport ready for pickup? Good. It really works.
Download the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app today.
Welcome back. Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, Geno Jacob, is stressing on the importance of separating waste materials. In an interview with the GIS News on Thursday, the PRO stated that sorting waste is critical to reduce the amount of garbage which goes to the landfill.
The way forward for the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation and for Dominica, we believe that the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation is to have at least each homeowner to have at least 3 pools or plastic containers, one for each recyclable items or one for recyclable items, one for your kitchen waste, right? We mentioned the soupy kitchen waste, your rice, your bananas, your dash which is boiled, you want to throw it away, and the other for green waste, compostable waste, which can be diverted to a farming group or composting area.
He says there are overseas markets for recyclable materials.
There are markets in Barbados for shredded plastic, and we have a company poised ready, willing, waiting to accept or to receive those shredded plastics. It's a matter of we commissioning or starting the shredder, let it start working and start baling. We have already exported container loads of cardboard boxes, cardboard, baled cardboard. There's market for paper, for office paper. There's market for glass. We have worked with Benjo Simas and as one of our stakeholders, partners. That's why we encourage all the people to come work with solid waste, give us ideas and let us work together. So Benjo Simas is one of those companies which has come over with us and ensure that we found a market for breakable glass, the clear, the green and the amber colored glass bottles, breakable bottles. So we have containerized this and shipped overseas and to markets. We have done used lead acid batteries. As we speak, the corporation has a counterpart in South Korea who are now begging us for batteries, used lead acid batteries, and the price is favorable.
He warned companies, however, that the corporation is the only entity allowed to export this waste.
I know that there are a number of companies, businesses who import batteries in Dominica who are sticking up or stacking up or collecting batteries in the view of selling those batteries themselves. But we want to warn them because Dominica is signatory to the Basel Convention, and the Basel Convention deals with the transboundary movement of hazardous waste between countries. And we cannot allow the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation is the only corporation, only entity, government entity, responsible for the export of that type of waste. No other company or no other business person who believes that there's money to be made in batteries or whatever can just export. It must come through the corporation.
And finally, this news time, the community of Cochrane is busy making preparations to host the 11th Rabbit Festival. The Rabbit Festival, which will run from July 29th to July 31st, is organized by the Rabbit Festival Committee. In an interview with the GIS News, Honorable Member of Parliament for the Roseau Valley constituency, which includes Cochrane, Dr. John Colin McIntyre, spoke of government's contributions to this year's Rabbit Festival.
We have always been involved in the Rabbit Festival. Every single year we have funded aspects of this Rabbit Festival tremendously, a significant amount, and we're always partnered with the people of Cochrane. This year again we will fund, we will assist with the program. We have had a little challenge of the weather and rain and whatnot, but even if it rains, people still come to the Rabbit Festival.
The Honorable MP says plans are progressing smoothly to stage the event.
I've been meeting with Mr. Piper. I think there's the Rabbit little committee that was established to look at this year's Rabbit Festival, and government will partner again with them. The Prime Minister and myself sat down. We actually spoke with Mr. Ronald Piper on that, and we are going to fund them again. The Cochrane folks have said to me that they were looking at us, not, I wouldn't call it a downscaling, but looking at free nights. But but this year, what they would like to look at, the rabbit, the vending of the meat and different aspects of it, and we're still going to have it. So we'll have the free nights of the Rabbit Festival, rather than the one they will have. I think they're looking at 3 nights of it, and the planning committee is now going over everything now. But government, rest assured, government is part of it. We have always been part of it, and what we're trying to do right now is bring it more onto the people.
Honorable Dr. McIntyre noted that government is assisting farmers involved in the rabbit rearing business.
I remember one year where we pledged in excess of $20-something thousand, if my memory serves me right, and had to go towards building of rabbit cages and whatnot. And of course, we are open to even assisting the people more once we can develop programs for that. So that's something I'll continue to discuss with them. And of course, the livestock unit, we had the training sessions with them, how you rear rabbits and whatnot. So yes, we have assisted before, and through the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Thomas and the livestock unit, we have been purchasing rabbit wire where we have, at a concessionary rates. We actually most times we give it out to the farmers. We give them the night it's built and given out to the farmers for rearing the rabbits, and as well the husbandry practices that should go with it as well too. So there's a pretty strong program on that.
The Honorable MP would like to see a sample of the Rabbit Festival at this year's Creole in the Park. Patrons will get the opportunity to try rabbits in varied dishes. Let's now join Moving Matthew for a recap of this week's headline stories.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Flashback, where we remind you of some of the major stories this week. Dominica's Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit has described Dominica's recovery following Tropical Storm Erica as extraordinary. The Dominica leader explained that for a small island developing state and considering the magnitude of the devastation, Dominica and its people have recovered well. The President's Charities Foundation donated $60,000 to the Ministry of Education for the construction of a multi-purpose court at the Colibri Primary School. The Tropical Storm Erica subcommittee was created by the President's Charities Foundation following the storm to focus on the restoration of the Collio and Colibri primary schools. The Honourable Member of Parliament for the Roseau Valley constituency, Dr. Colin McIntyre, confirmed this week that 90 individuals of his constituency are gainfully employed on the National Employment Programme. The Honourable MP commended the government for the initiative and described the National Employment Programme as a pillar project. Honourable McIntyre says after the passage of Tropical Storm Erica, the individuals employed under the NEP played an instrumental role in restoring communities of the Roseau Valley. A team from the Pan American Health Organization, the World Bank and the Inter-American Development Bank is impressed with Dominica's response to the global Zika epidemic. The team visited for a week to conduct rapid needs and cost assessment of Dominica's health system's response to Zika. On Monday, staff of the Ministry of Health and Finance met with the team for tabletop exercises as part of the assessment. The Honourable Minister for Planning, Dr. John Colin McIntyre, says the National Physical Development Plan has assisted the Ministry to make better decisions in terms of land use in Dominica. The Honourable Minister stated that Tropical Storm Erica has taught necessary lessons and therefore preventative measures will be taken in the future. On April 26, 2016, the first draft of the National Physical Development Plan, which is to govern the appropriate use of land in Dominica for the next 20 years, was presented to stakeholders and members of the press. And His Excellency the President of Dominica, Charles Savre, extended condolences to the President and people of the French Republic on the death of hundreds over the past 18 months, most recently 84 in Nice. His Excellency shared his words of sympathy at the 13th Annual President's Charities Foundation fundraising dinner last Saturday.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson Saint-Luce. Premièrement, management solid waste a bénéficié et puis on voiture aussi fait qui ça recycle zodes. Coopération là aussi voiture qui n'est habilité là pour recycle plastique, bouteilles, cannes et d'autres bagailles. Monsieur Jeno Jacob, c'est officier relations publiques pour management solid waste Dominique.
Commencé 1er juillet dans les salles, Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation recevait un truck et le truck ça c'est un truck nous taper de l'argent Swiss Consulate là et puis Red Cross banou pour nous gagner un truck là et puis nous à présent nous avons truck là aujourd'hui il y a truck là Amaho et puis Jimit et puis truck là nous schedule like aller différentes places pour masser panne plastique et puis bouteilles qui a cassé. Accommoder nous notre schedule et puis nous j'ai fait autant de travail à ces villages là, ces communautés là pour dire moun quitte un truck là qui venir et puis nous voulons moun séparer can panyo, plastique yo et puis bouteille yo. Mettez toutes ces bouteilles là en sac plastique, mettez ce sac là bon chimère, joua truck là qui venir. Et puis c'est un truck où ça va parce que truck là on design à souille car des recyclable truck et puis nous quand des monde fait secteur que nous continuons pour travailler puis Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation parce que nous pas voulons ces pannes là ces bouteilles là ces plastiques là agir quand ils ont place là maï goin ça taper en place là ça vivant et puis peuplé dans ces containers ça là.
Jacob fait parole qui est autant important pour chaîne pays propre.
Il est important pour nous continuer pour faire Dominique une place qui est naturelle, une place là nous pas que taper maladie parce que solid waste et puis nous comme bon monde Dominique à travailler puis solid waste et puis gouvernement pour faire certain que nous nettoyer Dominique. Nous pas qu'à nettoyer Dominique pour ces touristes là qui viennent Dominique, mais premièrement et puis principalement nous allons nettoyer Dominique pour santé nous.
À la nouvelle, le travail commencé bien formidable à Chimé Fouéal Live Civic. Parole ça la sortie de membre parlement Honorable Ivor Stevenson.
Nous avons qui travaille commencé à les chimie Montfrégade Fuel. À ce temps, nous avons compte BAM, ça c'est Banana Company Measures. So Montfrégade c'est un ces villages là et puis un ces places là ils ont identifié pour commencer à travailler. Autant habitants à Montfrégade, Live Civic, Fuel, ils ont tapé mes chemins ils fini chemin ça là.
Selon Honorable Stevenson, projet ça là qui bénéficie moun en l'occasion là.
Moun ka travail commencé et puis mon ka qui ça c'est ça qui mène autant qui fait travail pour habitants primaires parce que moun qui ça pour voiture changer manger sans y a ni problème. So mon ka encourager tous ces moun là là qui actuellement ka accès ces places là en est pour patience parce à la titre nous que chemin fini et puis nous que qui yoni mais chemin pour trafiquer pour chailler à manger et puis défendre bail.
À la nouvelle, Parlement Dominique a ouvert l'occasion Victoria Street mardi le 26 juillet l'année 2016 pour les premiers meetings, deuxième session le 9e Parlement à 10h bon matin. Comme la coutume, speaker Honorable Alex Boyd Knight qui ont tué et puis la pouille qui tienne. D'autres bagailles qui prennent place, c'est adoption papier et puis après ça, Parlement qui suspend pour tendre l'adresse président Excellence Charles Sovereign. Après ça, session qui est ouverte pour tendre parole la peine moun qui mort et puis parole complément. Il y a aussi tendre confirmation meeting le 27 juin l'année salam. Annoncement hot speaker et puis présentation papier. En même temps, Premier ministre Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerritt qui a présenté budget l'année 2016, l'année 2017 a valu plus que 600 avec 80 millions de dollars. Premier ministre a aussi demandé au Parlement pour d'accord overdraft 36 millions de dollars plus tard en session là. Gouvernement qui prête l'agence là, hors institution, l'argent en pays là. Et puis finalement, Ministre Telecoms ouvert Center of Excellence en State College Dominic. Sinon, directeur Telecoms Bennett Thomas, Center là ouvert pour traîner monde en affaires ICT.
Center of Excellence là ouvert les 3 juin en année ça, et à Dominica State College. Nous qui est au Center of Excellence parce que c'est un institut qui fait pour tout le monde en particulier areas. So, on est monde qui a train à information technology, comment pour faire petits bagages, apps, qui est ça, pour faire web page design, on est en business, on mettre tout bagages sur internet là, ou faire un petit website. On mettait tout le bagage où ça vend, tout le monde savait ça au café. So, une bagaille comment aller pour créer ça qui est efficiency en business ou ça ou penser bagaille ça tool ICT tools et faciliter pour faire bagaille plus neat, plus à temps et plus ça qui est plus efficient.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout. Pour Nouvelle Créole pour à présent, non moi c'est McPherson Luce, ni un bon week-end. Au revoir.
Before we leave, here are a few announcements. Applications are invited for suitably qualified people to fill the position of caretaker, Scott said, public convenience. Applicants must be community-oriented and law-abiding citizens, must be able to read and write, and also be below the age of 60 years. Interested persons should submit applications addressed to the chairman, Sufria Scott said, Gallia Village Council. Deadline for receipt of applications is Monday, July 25th, 2016. The Human Resource Development Unit Establishment Personnel and Training Department is pleased to announce that a workshop on events planning and management will be held at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium from Tuesday 9th August to Wednesday 10th August 2016 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. This workshop targets middle and senior level officers and will be facilitated by Mrs. Anita Bully. Deadline for submission of nominations is Wednesday, 27th July 2016. The Human Resource Development Unit Establishment Personnel and Training Department is pleased to announce that a workshop on coaching and mentoring will be held at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium from Wednesday 24th August to Thursday 25th August from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. This workshop targets middle and senior level officers and will be facilitated by Mrs. Lucinda Lafon Charles. Deadline for submission of nominations is Wednesday 27th July 2016. Coming up next, your tip of the day. A daily walk can improve your overall health. Take a daily 30-minute brisk walk. This simple task will improve your cardiovascular health, increase your metabolism, and help control your cholesterol and blood pressure. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is also available on our YouTube channel 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.